10 Crazy Conspiracy Theories That Turned Out to Be True. Number 1. The Tuskegee Syphilis Experiment. From 1932 to 1972, the U.S. Public Health Service conducted a study on African American men in Tuskegee, Alabama to investigate the natural progression of syphilis. The men were not told they had syphilis and were denied treatment even after penicillin became widely available. The study was eventually exposed by a whistleblower and led to changes in research ethics. Number 2. Operation Northwoods. In 1962, the U.S. Department of Defense proposed a plan to stage terrorist attacks on U.S. soil and blame them on Cuba as a pretext for invasion. The plan was never carried out, but it was declassified and made public in 1997. Check the books in the description and join the ranks of those who are prepared for anything. Number 3. COINTELPRO. From the 1950s to the 1970s, the FBI conducted a covert operation called COINTELPRO to disrupt and discredit political organizations and individuals deemed a threat to national security. The program was exposed by journalists and led to reforms in FBI practices. Number 4. Iran-Contra Affair. In the 1980s, senior officials in the Reagan administration secretly sold weapons to Iran and used the profits to fund Contra rebels in Nicaragua, despite a congressional ban on such activities. The scandal was uncovered by investigative journalists and led to multiple indictments and convictions. Number 5. Watergate. In 1972, a group of men broke into the Democratic National Committee headquarters at the Watergate complex in Washington, D.C. The break-in was linked to the re-election campaign of President Richard Nixon, who was later forced to resign after the revelation of a cover-up. Number 6. Project MKUltra. In the 1950s and 1960s, the CIA conducted experiments on human subjects to investigate mind control techniques. The program was exposed by journalists and led to investigations and reforms in research ethics. Number 7. The Gulf of Tonkin Incident. In 1964, the U.S. government claimed that North Vietnamese boats had attacked U.S. ships in the Gulf of Tonkin, which led to a resolution authorizing the use of military force in Vietnam. However, evidence later emerged that the incident was fabricated or exaggerated. Number 8. The Manhattan Project. During World War II, the U.S. government secretly developed atomic weapons as part of the Manhattan Project. The project was declassified after the war and became widely known. Number 9. The U.S. government's involvement in the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. In 1999, a civil trial found that the U.S. government and other parties were involved in a conspiracy to assassinate civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. in 1968. Number 10. The NSA's Mass Surveillance Program. In 2013, former NSA contractor Edward Snowden leaked classified documents showing that the agency was conducting mass surveillance of electronic communications, both in the U.S. and abroad. The program was later found to be unconstitutional by U.S. courts. Check the books in the description and be ready. Thanks for watching.